What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Oh yeah, guys, so check this out. Check it out. Oh yeah, we got red little sparklies underneath us. That's so cool. Let's take a look at this real quick. So I was complaining before that our jetpack takes forever to charge up, right? So it's pretty much completely full right now. About as full as the system will let it get. I've been using the flux infuser. Is that what that thing's called over here? This thermal expansion machine? No, energetic infuser. That's what it's called. I've been using this machine, and if we look here, we can see the maximum power is 8,000 RF a tick, which is okay until you get something that requires 50 million RF, and yeah, then it takes a minute or 20 to charge up. So I've tried putting in all different augments in here trying to make this go faster. There's no way I can tell to make this maximum power increase, which is the amount of RF it will infuse at a time. So I was looking for an alternate method, and I remembered in the previous FTB Infinity series, I had these resonant charge pads, or is it this one? There we go. Yeah, resonant charge pad. This is from Ender Tech. And why is there redstone in there? Why is there now melon in there? Oops! Okay, I got a problem I need to figure out. I did some rearranging down below. But anyway, this thing can charge up your jetpack or whatever as long as you're like a block above it. So you can hide it underneath the ground here, which is what I've done. I can just stick a block right there, fly up a little bit, use some power on my suit, and it will charge up right through that block, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I rearranged some things down here. I moved the Tesseract that I had right on the ME controller up here since I needed to power this thing anyway. But I'm also having this receive items into our ME interface, which I guess is putting items right here, which is not what we want. Can I put something there that... I don't know if I can put something there other than that. Can I put that sign there? No. It likes redstone and it likes these Enderium nuggets, I guess. Actually, I can't even click those in there, but it's being piped in somehow. Anyway, that's not a big deal. We'll let that fill up to a stack of redstone, I suppose, over time. That's something I didn't know was actually happening before, but that's fine, that's fine. So, we have a charge pad down there, so whenever I come over here to use the ME system, we charge up. I don't have to worry about it. It's way faster than charging in the energetic infuser, which is awesome. So guys, today I wanted to start working on some of the bee stuff that we need to get done. A lot of it I'm going to be doing off camera, but I did want to show you guys how this stuff works for those of you who have never played around with bees, or you're just curious. I mean, you know, whatever. So these are the ender bees that we got from the end, at the end of last episode. I went ahead and I put them through the genetic imprinter here. I'll show you how that's done. You just stick the bee in there. It uses some labware, and we put the effect none on there, which gets rid of the effect ends on there. I've already done this before, so I'm doing it again. Doesn't really affect anything, but that's how you do it. So you take one of these genetic templates, and you take one of these gene samples. So for instance, this is tolerant flyer false. If we were to take this guy and this genetic template and put these in the crafting grid, then it would have 2 chromosomes on there, the effect none and the tolerant flyer false. If I later want to put tolerant flyer true, I can just re-add it to this genetic template, and that's as simple as that. And then just put the bees through this machine, and it will put those traits on it. Very, very easy to do. The problem with these bees is they only have a fertility of 1, which means we only get 1 drone back. We never get extra. So if I wanted to, you know, take another princess and try and convert to an ender drone, or I want to take these ender drones and stick it through the genetic sampler machine over here, I would lose the drone, and then I would be stuck with just a princess. So we need to up the fertility so we can get extra drones, so we can get the samples and, you know, whatever else we need the extra drones for. But if we stick it in here, we can see these different traits. So it says fertility 1xb, so it only makes 1. That's not very good. Lifespan longer, which is a trait that I would like. We don't have that yet. I think longest is the very longest one. Longer, I believe, is the second longest. Anyway, so that's what we got here. It's got a larger territory than most, which I believe is 9 by 8. or 9x4, or something like that. So we might want that for some reason. And then, yeah, it's got climate cold, temperature tolerance 1, diurnal, and nocturnal. These are good traits to have. I wanted those stone bees for the nocturnal since those always come with it. These have that as well, so we can get that trait off of these bees. So this will produce a mysterious comb, and it can mutate into 2 other species according to this. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and grab, let's see, where is it? Fertility 2, fertility 3. This fertility 3 is what we got off the forest bees, so that's really good. So I'll take this fertility and put it on this guy here, and now this will negate any effect that the bee has and make the bees have a fertility 3. That's awesome. So we'll go ahead and do that. We get our blank gene sample back. And also, you might notice that I have like 4 of these fertility 2s or something. You can take these and put it through a furnace and it will remove the trait that's on this genetic sample, and you can reuse that. So you don't have to constantly make these, although I end up doing it a lot. But yeah, you can reuse those if you want. So this one, effect none, fertility 3, this is what we want. We're going to put the princess through, and we're going to put the drone through. They'll be able to produce 3 bees every time they die off, which is awesome. We'll get a stockpile of these drones, and then we'll be able to get the samples, get the species ender, get the species, or get the different other traits that we're looking for, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put these bees back in the hive. By the way, this particular bee needs an end flower, and the end flower is the dragon egg. I gotta be careful not to click that thing because it might fly off into the void and be gone forever. I will do the torch trick thing on this egg later on when I go to remove it. I don't think there's a way you can... Well, actually, no, I believe there is a way I can convert that ender bee to use regular flowers, so I might end up doing that. But for now, to get the bee going at the very start, it does need the ender egg. I'm curious, do I have a flowering slower flowers? Okay, I might actually convert this bee over, but before I do, I'll probably want to get the flowers end or whatever. Let's take a look. I can't remember what this one is. We'll look. Flower type end. Yeah, I'll probably get this trait because I don't think there's any other way to get this other than from this bee. And you never know. You might want this for some reason. Probably not, but I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. So these are going to produce 3 bees. We'll stick them in here. We'll put the automatic upgrade in there as well. And I've taken all the other bees out of these hives that we had going, and I put them in this apiarist chest over here. So we got a lot of these extra forest drones because those are making 3 at a time. These other ones, I think we're only making 2, so we don't have as much as those. But yeah, that's where all these bees are. So the next step in this whole process is we needed to mix 2 different bees together. So like a forest princess, for instance, and a meadows drone. It doesn't have to be these 2, just as long as they're the hive bees. We can stick them over here in the advanced mutatron, so that guy and this guy, and that'll give us the option, well, a common or a common. Which one are we going to choose? I think we're going to choose a common. So that'll give us the common queen, which is what we're looking for, and then we can mix the common back with one of those hive bees, and I believe that'll give us another type. But anyway, we have to do this process and get to the bees that produce, I'm trying to remember, is it the royal jelly? Yeah, I think it's this stuff here. Yeah, the imperial bees. We need this royal jelly in order to make the production upgrades for our advanced apiary. So we have to make the noble and the majestic bees, and we have to make the cultivated, and yeah, you put the common bee in with a hive bee, and that'll give you a cultivated. And then the noble is a common with a cultivated. Yeah, anyway, we got this process to go through. So I'm going to be going through all of those bees off camera, and we will be right back. All right, guys. So I've been at this for a little while now, and I kind of wanted to show you in a better way than any eye how this bee breeding actually worked. So yeah, In order to get to the bees that we need, we had to go through a few mutations here. So we take 2 different hive bees, 2 different hives. We breed those, we get the common. So we take that common bee that we got, we breed it back with another hive bee, and then we get this cultivated bee, the purple one. Okay, so we take both the common and the cultivated, both of these bees, we breed those together, we get a noble. And then we take the cultivated and the noble, and then we get the majestic. Okay, so final breed is we have to take the noble and the majestic, and then those breed into the imperial. This is the bee we were looking for. This is the bee that makes the royal jelly, and this is where we are at now. So I just got done getting some more traits off of these bees. Let's take a look at this. Our template right here, this is the one that I'm stamping to all of our bees. Ignore day, night, true. We got that from the ender bees, I'm pretty sure. Flowers, we're putting that on all the bees just so we don't have to worry about putting vines or dragon eggs or any of this stuff. They'll always just use regular flowers. Speed fast, I think, was on the noble. And then lifespan shortest was on one of the bees too. We got that somewhere. We want that so the bees die off quickly, and then they make more drones. So we can take those drones and get the traits off of the bees that we want. Fertility 4, we got that off of the majestic bees. So yeah, this is all pretty good. The only thing is I kind of wish I did not put the effect none on this genetic template. And the reason for that is this specific bee right here, the imperial bee, which is doing decent work here. This bee right here has an effect on it called beatific, I think, or beaterific, or I don't know. This is one of the original drones. Let's take a look at this real quick. And right click on the beealizer, stick this in here. Beatific, that's what it's called. Anyway, this effect right here, we're gonna remove every time we stamp a bee. But this one gives you like a regeneration effect if you're near this bee while it's actually doing something. I went ahead and I removed this from this bee just because I don't like the little swirly fart bubble thingies around me. I'd have to turn off particles all the time. And yeah, that's just kind of annoying, but it would be nice to have that trait available. But the bees, before we put the fertility 4 on them and the lifespan shortest and all that stuff, take forever to breed. So I went ahead and I got rid of that effect. I'm going to go sleep real quick. We got rid of that effect. They have the fertility of 4. They work at nighttime. And they have the lifespan shortest so we can get more drones and all of this stuff. And they have the production speed fast. Did I mention we have the production speed fast on there? Oh, we didn't put the... No, we have speed fast on there underneath flowers. Yeah. Speed fast makes these bees produce stuff that much quicker. But on top of the fact that we can have speed fast, faster, and fastest, or whatever, we can also add in new upgrades. And we are looking for the production upgrade. We can have up to 8 installed, and each one of those ups the production rate by 20%. Now, the reason why we wanted those specific bees we just made, the imperial bees for the royal jelly, is because that is required to make these production upgrades. So now that we have 5, well, I guess 6 of these royal jellies, we can go down, and now we can make a pattern and start making some of these guys. So we'll make a pattern for that, and we'll stick that into our molecular assembler, and we'll put the royal jelly in here, and we'll tell this to make 6 production upgrades because that's all we got right at the moment. And we got everything in the system, it looks like. Okay, awesome. So now that should make our bees, we're gonna put these in the imperial bees first. That should make them go quite fast. What is that, 120% faster or something like that? But it's going to be using a lot more energy. 79.8 RF a tick, and without these, it is doing 26.7. So yeah, that's significantly more power. Yeah. So once we get all the production upgrades and we have the bees set with all the different traits we want, it might make sense to put the fertility down to 1 just so we're not making a bunch of drones, and set the lifespan to longest so they don't die off as quickly. But that's like, you know, you don't really need to do that. You can pull out the drones and just throw them away or whatever. In some mods, like extra bees, you take the extra drones and then you can put them into what is that? The liquid DNA, and you use the liquid DNA in the extra B machine, similar to how these GenDustry machines are set up. But in this one, we're just using like redstone to turn this mutagen to do the stuff that we need it to do. So I don't think we really need the extra drones. At least I'm not aware of it right now. But yeah, now we can do, oh, look at that. We got 2 more of them, so we can make, oh, I guess I don't have to fly anywhere. We can just stick down the system here. Production upgrade, and we can just tell us to make 2 more of those. Sweet. Okay, so now our Imperial Bee will be making the maximum amount. How much are we doing? 115 RF a tick. We'll be making the royal jelly as fast as possible, and these dripping combs actually, as fast as possible for what we have. Look at that. We just got 2 of them right there. That's pretty crazy. There is a speed faster and fastest. I'm not sure where the faster and fastest come from. I know I've gotten them before, and I think it's in one of the lines when you breed way further along than where we are right now. So for right now, I think the speed fast and the production upgrades are going to do what we need it to do. So now that I got this, we can make more of those production upgrades and help out our ender bees over here make these mysterious combs. Because these mysterious combs make the pulsating propolis, and we need these, I think 5 of them. I can't remember what that item is. Let's go look at this. I think, it is the pulsating mesh. And the pulsating mesh, yeah, we need pulsating mesh. We need 5 of these to make that, and we need a grand total of 16. So we're almost there already with 50 of those, and then we're going to be getting more here. So we might almost be done. I did get a lot of these pulsating propolis just by breaking the hives in the end. I'm pretty sure that's where we got those. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to continue working on this stuff a little bit. We might change gears here and work on something else. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright guys, so we're going to switch gears. I decided we're going to let the bees do their thing for a little bit. I'll work on them a bit off camera, try and move things along. We're going to work with a mod we haven't worked with for a little while. We're actually going to jump back into Botania. So I've set this up over here next to our Thaumcraft area and our Blood Magic area because it's kind of a magic mod. Kind of feels like it should be over here. Also, we're running out of space over by our other flower areas and plant areas. I do want a tree farm, and I think that's what that platform's going to be. So yeah, we're putting Botania over here. Okay, so quick refresher. These are day blooms. These generate mana when it's daytime, and they provide mana to our mana spreader. So these things are making mana. It gets put into the mana spreader, and then the mana spreader shoots it into the mana pool. With a Wand of the Forest, you can set this into different modes. If you shift right click in air, not pointing at a block, you set this to bind mode or function mode. So in bind mode, you can shift right click on a flower or a mana spreader. So you can see it's got the colored outline. Shift right click on that, and we can shift right click on the mana spreader, and that links the flower to the spreader. And then we can also do the same thing. We right click the spreader, we can bind it to this mana pool. Okay, so why would you want to change where the spreader is pointing? Well, maybe you want it to point at another mana pool, so we can do that easily just by shift right clicking, now it points over here. We don't really want the mana to go there, so we'll, whoops, we don't want it to go into that flower either. We want it to go into that mana pool. Yeah, so this thing will fill up with mana. Once it reaches a certain point, it shoots it into the mana pool, and this is how you store your power. Well, your mana, whatever. Botania's power. Okay, so now that we have that back and set up, I think it's time we look at the quest book, see where we are and where we need to be. Yeah, so there's a redstone mana control, which is, I believe, this mana spreader, but you can turn it on and off using a redstone signal. This is a redstone mana spreader will send mana based on redstone pulses. This allows much better control of the mana targets. Okay, so yeah, it's a slightly better, well, different anyway. It's not, you know, set it and forget it. This is actually something you can control. So this wants us to make a redstone mana spreader. I'm not sure I'm not sure what the recipe is on this. Oh, it's just a mana spreader plus a redstone dust. All right, all right. I don't think we have another mana spreader, and I don't know if I want the redstone control. That might make things a little bit awkward. Let's go ahead and set up our pure white daisy. Dirt. I need to set up one of those. Oh, I have dirt in my inventory already. Wood. We're going to need to make some more of this living wood. We don't have enough. And I think we'll just set this up over here. We just need that. Are one of these a light? Stone brick cover. That's a light right there. Okay, we'll set it up over here. Oops, I have my magnet turned off. Okay, so dirt goes here, and then we can put a pure white daisy right there. And we will surround that with wood. And this will turn into living wood. We need the living wood so we can make the mana spreader. And then once we make a new mana spreader... Oh, is it just 6? Okay. Yeah, once we make a new mana spreader, we can go ahead and upgrade it to the redstone version. Alright, so we'll let this thing do its thing for a little while. You can tell it's working. There's like the little sparklies all over the wood. I believe it only takes about 1 minute for that to actually convert, so it won't take too much longer. So we can look at another thing here. Ore Flora. This is an orchid. Is a great boon on a void world. Using some mana, it can generate common ores in nearby stone. It won't generate anything priceless, but it's better than sifting. Maybe. Alright, so that's going to require us to make an orchid, and that's going to give us another one in return, and some living rock. Okay, so that'll speed things up a little bit. So how do we make an orchid? I think we have to consult our Lexica Botania. Alright, well after searching the Lexica Botania for a little while, I was still unable to find it, so I decided to search NEI. And lo and behold, it is here in NEI. I don't know why I couldn't find it in the Botania book, but whatever. So I seed what you did there. So this wants us to use pixie dust, which I don't think we have. Redstone root, I'm pretty sure we don't have that either. These runes, and a lot of these different mystical petals, which we do have. So pixie dust does not have anything I can click on. Redstone root looks like it is regular grass plus redstone, so that seems like that should be easy enough for us to create. Now these runes are things that we're going to have to do with the runic altar, it looks like. Okay, so I think we're going to back up a moment here. And I do not think that we are going to do the orchid just yet. I think we should probably do this rune creation. That seems like the next logical step. So now that our redstone mana control thing should be about ready for us to create, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we wanted to make the mana spreader. So we'll make one of those. We need a petal. Botania. We need a petal, and I can't remember what the last thing was. Gold ingot. Okay, so there we go. There is a mana spreader. Now we can take this guy and put it in with some redstone dust, and now we have the redstone mana spreader. Awesome. Okay, so that completes this quest, and that's going to give us another mana spreader. So now that I just realized that it's going to give us a mana spreader, we could have just upgraded the one we had and then replaced it again, but we might need more than one of these. I don't know how intensive Botania is going to get. Looks like we just unlocked this quest. I think that's new. More power. Elven mana spreaders move more mana faster and without loss than regular spreaders. They do not, however, like redstone. Okay. So, is that something that we're going to be able to make? Dreamwood. I have no idea how to create this stuff. I probably have to consult our book. I wonder if the book will have that in there. Okay. Well, I don't know how to make the Dreamwood. I was expecting this book to have like an index where I can look up anything in there. And unfortunately, it kind of does, but the things that I've tried looking up so far, nope, it's not in there. Okay, so maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. Anyway, it looks like that is another item that's going to be further on in Botania than we are right now. So we're going to move on from that. Let's go ahead and do rune creation. This says runes are powerful components. To create them, you will need a runic altar. Okay, I believe I've done this before, but it was a while ago, so I don't really remember everything we need to do here. So to make one of these, we need 5 living rock and a mana pearl or a mana diamond. I believe you can take an ender pearl and throw that in the mana pool, and that turns it into a mana pearl. We only got 15,000 ender pearls. I don't know if we're going to have enough to do this with it, but we will give it a shot. Hopefully we don't run out. And if we drop that there, I got to drop a magnet. You can see there's a check mark on that, so that means there's enough mana in the pool, so we can just do that, and now we got the mana pearl. We do have plenty of living rock, so we can go ahead and craft that up. And just like this. So there is our runic altar. Okay, very good. Now we're making progress. I guess we'll stick that here for now. I'll probably find better spots for these things as we go. Okay, so let's see, where is my quest book? Which specific runes did it want us to make? The rune of water. And to make one of these, we need mana steel ingots, bone meal, sugarcane, and a fishing rod. So a mana steel ingot is made by throwing iron ingot into the mana pool, okay? And we needed 3 of those. So let's grab some iron ingots. 1, 2, 3. See if we can toss those in there. If we have enough mana, hopefully we do. 1, 2, 3. We had enough. Perfect. Okay, so we can stick those on here just by right-clicking. So we need a fishing rod, sugarcane, and bone meal. So fishing rod. I don't know if it'll work with a partly broken one. Sugarcane, bone meal. And throw these things in there. Bone meal, sugarcane. And I guess we can try one of those fishing rods. Fishing rod. Hopefully that works. I don't know if that will or won't. And then, is that all we have to do? Oh, do we need to provide this with mana? Okay. I don't know how we provide that with mana. Maybe we take our mana spreader and link it to this thing. That might work. We could try it anyway. Do that to this. Okay, guys, so I figured out that it doesn't like the broken fishing rod. So I made a brand new one, I stuck it in its place, and then we were sending mana over to the altar very slowly. It was only taking mana from these day blooms as it was generating it, and these don't generate mana very fast. So what I ended up doing is putting a second mana spreader next to our mana pool, and this was shooting the mana up to the mana spreader, and the mana spreader sent it over to our runic altar. Now we can see this process is now complete. We got sparklies around, little lightning bolts or whatever. So yeah, I was just looking in the book here and it says it should be apparent when the altar has received enough mana. When that happens, just drop a piece of living rock on top of it and use the wand on it again to collect your rune. So living rock, let's go ahead and toss that. Okay, I think that's all we gotta do. And then right click. There we go. Okay, so lithium doll, I guess, is what we just got an achievement called. Let's go back to our quest book. So we got that done, and then Rune of Fire. Let's check this out real quick. So it's kind of the same thing. I think we can do this together this time. So nether wart, iron. 1, 2, 3. I think it said another brick. Okay, we got plenty of those, and I can't remember what the final item was. Gunpowder. Okay, of course. Gunpowder. Right, so this should be pretty easy. So we'll put that there. One of those. Not those. One of these. So we need to turn these into mana steel. Okay, so that was easy enough. Right click those guys. And I think we just have to right click this with the wand. Okay, so now things are happening. This is what I did last time. Now you can see there's a little progress bar, and you can see that the mana spreader is sending lots of mana over here. It takes it a minute for this to process, but once that is done, we'll just drop the living rock on there right click it again, and get our rune. So I will see you guys when this is all finished up. Alright guys, well that went ahead and finished up, so now we have 3 rune of water and 3 rune of fire. Okay, so that completes this quest here, and that's going to give us a rune of spring. Let's go and claim that reward. And it doesn't look like that unlocked anything else. We got a few more quests left here that are unlocked right now. We might unlock something else. Yeah, some of this stuff is more advanced. I'm going to have to figure out how to do this. I do know there's like an elfin portal or something like that. I've seen people do that before, but I've never really paid attention to Botania, so I'm learning this mod as we go. If you guys have any tips and tricks, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, it looks like I got a lot of research ahead of me, just trying to remember how to use the runic altar, for instance. Yep, I forgot. Now I know. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, I tell you what, we're going to wrap the episode up here. I'm going to do some research off camera, and hopefully you guys will leave me some cool information in the comments down below that'll help me out with this mod a little bit, so next time we'll come back as an expert and not be so much a noob. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Hope you guys liked it. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you did, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.